A spectacular Sunday evening in October in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We have the usual sellout crowd gathering at Three River Stadium as Marshall Faulk and Jim Harbaugh lead the Indianapolis Colts into town to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And good evening, everybody. Vern Lundquist along with Pat Hayden and Mark May. Pittsburgh with a bit of a winning streak now. They won their last two, including an incredible come-from-behind victory over Baltimore last week to post their record at 3 wins and 2 defeats. The Colts, desperate for their first win of 1997. History has not treated them well in this area either. They've made 10 trips into Three Rivers without winning their first. And, Mark, they really seem to be struggling offensively this season.
Oh, when the offense struggles, Vern, the fingers get pointed at the quarterback, and that's Jim Harbaugh. Last year at this time of the season, they were 4-1. This year, they're 0-5. Jim Harbaugh, the last few years, has been one of the top-rated quarterbacks in the AFC. This year, he's at the bottom. And you can look at these stats. He's been benched or injured 3 of 5 games this year, and he's also taken himself out of a game. He missed 21% of the offense. He's got to get help from his other players, and those players are the offensive linemen, the wide receivers, and the running back, Marshall Faulk. But, Pat, the Pittsburgh Steelers don't have that problem on offense this year, and they seem to be led on their offense rather than their defense.
Well, you're right, Mark. You know, for years they've been characterized by a dominating defensive team, but this is much a different type of Pittsburgh team, an explosive offensive team led by their explosive offensive quarterback, Cordell Stewart. And a play last week against the Baltimore Ravens was really indicative of this new Pittsburgh offense. This was the second half of the game after he had thrown 3 interceptions early in this ball game. A fake reverse. Now, only he and Yancey Thigpen even knew it was going to be a fake reverse, but 74 yards later, he got his team into the end zone. A remarkable run, the third longest run ever by a quarterback in the National Football League. And, you know, they had a lot of other big plays. Jerome Bettis had 137 yards. They had a big kickoff return. And, Vern, this has gone, I think, from, predominantly a defensive team to really a big play offensive team.
Well, this afternoon, Chicago came that close to winning their first. Atlanta did win its first.
18 unassisted tackles. He defended 1 pass. Lloyd missed most of the 96 season with a knee injury. It might be time to get well against the shoddy Colts. That's coming up at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We want an updated score from the deck.
Deion Sanders might be the most respected, but teams avoid him. And as we saw moments ago, Barry Sanders might be the most dangerous, but he can't carry the ball in every play. With Pittsburgh, every down begins with Stewart, and he has become a master at deftly moving out of the pocket, cutting, spinning, whirling, improvising, making something happen. For the first 2 years in Pittsburgh, number 10 was known as Slash for his exceptional athletic ability and versatility on the field. But this season, Cordell Stewart's position is no longer an option. He is the quarterback.
A lot of people wanted him to, when he came out, wanted him to be a running back because when he ran the option, he ran the ball so well. But when he came out, he always remained wanting to be a quarterback. Even though he was having success at Slash, everyone was saying, Cordell, you can be a receiver, you can be a running back, but he said, I want to be a quarterback. This year he had his opportunity.
He has proven that he can be an excellent quarterback in this league.
This is a guy that at any time, anywhere on the field, he can strike. I mean, he can run it 70 yards, he can throw it 70 yards.
He can turn an ordinary play into a really special play. And so whenever you see a player that has that type of ability, you always kind of, tip your hat to him because, he takes the game to another level.
His athletic ability and his ability to improvise at times are things that, you don't design. I mean, you kind of let him do. And we've never harnessed him. And, the play last week, he throws the Yancey Thigpen 65 yards out of the pocket. Those are the types of plays that, that a guy like him can make. And there's no question it's a lift for your offense. So, we structure some things, but a lot of it is just Cordell being Cordell.
Cordell's ability to come up with the big plays was never more evident than last Sunday, when he pulled off an incredible comeback after struggling from the start.
It was a morning where I woke up 15 minutes before the first bus left, and I always leave on the first bus, so I didn't have time to eat breakfast that morning. And so I'm sitting there saying to myself, like, man, I need to get something to eat in my tummy, and I'm sitting there saying to myself, well, I'll be all right, because it was cool early in the morning. And all of a sudden we came out and warmed up, man, and it started getting hot, and I felt kind of weak a little bit. And so then we came out, and, I said to myself, I just want to complete some passes, just take what they give me. And before you know it, right off the back, 3 interceptions, 3 touchdowns for them. I'm sitting there saying, oh, my goodness. I said, this is going to be a long day. And I promise you, it seemed like it was forever, and it was only 5, and it was still 5 minutes left in the first quarter. And I'm sitting there saying to myself, man, we hadn't gotten anything done yet. We're down 21-0. We came in at half, and Coach Carr gave a speech, and I sat down and I thought to myself, and Chan Gailey was talking and saying, Cordell, hey, just relax, man. Just go out there and play. I said, that's what I need to do is just relax and just go out and play and stop worrying about everything and just take what they give me. And lo and behold, that second half, we came out and got 35 points, and, it was off to the races.
With Cordell at the helm, the Steelers are capable of beating you in so many different ways. And the poise and character displayed in last week's dramatic comeback could be the team's defining moment.
I mean, that's football, though. I mean, that's what builds character, when teams come from the bottom and work their way back up and finish up on top.
Games like that certainly reinforce the talk of playing for 60 minutes, being able to overcome adversity. But we also got to keep it in perspective. Things like that don't happen week in and week out, and we can't expect to be able to fall behind by 21 and do that on a consistent basis. So, games like this, which we've had in the past, can be very healthy as long as it's looked at very objectively.
Live from Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh, it's Week 7 of the NFL on TNT. Tonight, the Steelers, led by Cordell Stewart, meet the Colts. In 1995, these two teams met on this field for the AFC Championship. It came down to one final play.
Here we go for the right to go to the Super Bowl.
Oh, boy, everybody here is on pins and needles.
Deep into the right-hand corner. Everybody in the end zone. They battle for the ball. It is...
Caught! Oh, my God!
No, they say incomplete.
It is dropped. The Steelers are headed to Phoenix, and this is one of the most unbelievable football games we have ever witnessed.
The Colts never fully recovered from the Hail Mary that didn't happen. Pittsburgh is still a contender.
Hey, Slasher! Look like you run that for it.
With an emerging superstar named Slash Stewart, who last week led the Steelers to the biggest comeback in team history.
Yeah!
There's a belief, there's a will. You stay at things, and you don't ever stop believing. You make your own good fortune.
Tonight, Cordell Stewart gets the 6th start of his young National Football League career at quarterback. And he is fresh from an accomplishment of legendary implications. 1 week ago, Stewart accounted for 5 touchdowns in leading his team from 21 points down to a victory on the road at Baltimore. And tonight, the Pittsburgh Steelers, 3-2 for the season, host the Indianapolis Colts at 0-5. And good evening, everybody. I'm Vern Lundquist, along with Pat Hayden and Mark May. Welcome on a spectacular Sunday evening to Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh. Colt quarterback Jim Harbaugh told us yesterday, I have never been 0-5 in anything in my life, and I can't begin to tell you how badly it hurts. Among the lowlights thus far this season, the Colts blew a 26-point lead on the road and lost at Buffalo. Thus, an 0-5 season as they come into tonight's game. Pittsburgh, on the other hand, 3-2, feeling really good about themselves. And Pat, not only getting good quarterback, but really astute coaching from Bill Cowher.
Well, I think this NFL season is not even half over, but it's been characterized to me by at least 3 things. One, some great running, particularly by the AFC running backs, a lot of close ball games, and thirdly, some terrific coaching, including here in Pittsburgh, where Bill Cowher, I think, has done a sensational job, not only replacing some departed stars like Chad Brown and Rod Woodson, but really nurturing his young quarterback, Cordell Stewart. It seems like he's been around for a long time, but it's only his 6th start. And last week could have been a dreadful game for Cordell Stewart. Threw 3 interceptions in his first 8 passes, but he was not benched. He was not screamed at. A lot of patience shown by Bill Cowher, and I think it led to a lot of confidence in Cordell Stewart by his teams, and I think really a turning point in his career. And And Mark, you know, as good a job as Bill Cowher has done, he's got those 2 wins in a row. Lindy Infante has got some real problems with this Colt team.
Not only problems, Pat, he's got a tremendous amount of pressure on his shoulders. And the Colts have started off 0-5 for the 6th time since 1974. 4 out of 5 of those times they started off 0-5, the head coach was not roaming the sidelines the following year. He must dig himself out of this trench, and he can do that by getting the ball to this guy, their running back, Marshall Faulk. He's a legitimate superstar in the league. Every season he's been in the league, he's had over 1,000 yards combined, rushing and receiving. But he's only carrying the ball 16 times a game this year. And any marquee back would like to carry the ball much, much more. So look for them to get the ball to Marshall Faulk. And the guy to get him the ball will be their quarterback, of course, Jim Harbaugh. Now, he hasn't had a stellar season this year, and the magic hasn't been there. The Colts have only scored 66 points this season, an NFL low, and Jim Harbaugh's only thrown for 1 touchdown pass. But he needs help from his supporting cast. And the Colt quarterbacks have been sacked 22 times. And Vern, Jim Harbaugh's been the recipient of 19 of those sacks.
That's right, Mark, and that is number 2 in the league behind only Jeff Blake at Cincinnati. A splendid night. Let's go down on the field and check in with the 4th member of our commentary crew, Craig Sager.
Well, thank you very much. Coach talking to his team right now.
Let's go. Hey, listen now. Let's go, baby. Hey, let me tell you something. Don't wait around. From this kickoff, a motion together, feed off of it, 60 minutes. Let's go. Go.
Coach, we talked about last week's second half comeback perhaps being a defining moment for the team. Have you noticed momentum throughout the week or in practice carrying over?
Well, that's hard to say. I think the most important thing is that we pick up right where we left off. I don't want to go through any laws, and our team has understood that. So we get a good start, then, yeah, maybe we did.
All right, thanks a lot. Good luck. Let's go back upstairs to the...
All right, Craig, it's a splendid evening. 73 degrees. The temperature, winds are calm. The humidity is 43%, and the forecast severe clear. This is only the 21st meeting between these two teams. The Steelers lead the series overall 16-4, and the Colts have made 10 previous trips into Three Rivers Stadium. They have yet to win here.